Very happy right now to be joined by, quite frankly, one of the best people on God's green earth, Browns linebacker coach Jason Tarver. And Tarver, let me just say, congratulations. I know that this season has not had the outcomes on a week-to-week basis that you've wanted or this organization's wanted. But, man, it feels good. I know how much work you put in. I know how much work your room puts in. I know how much work everybody puts in to get that result. It is a binary league to get that win, especially over the Steelers and deny them the ability to win the AFC North on our field.
Yes.
So congratulations.
Thank you. First of all, your intros for me are getting better and better.
Oh, baby. Well, they're all true. I'm going to have to keep going.
I like that. But, no, very proud of our room and our defense and our entire team because we just focused in. And I could feel it during the week of practice. Sometimes you don't know. It's the NFL. Everybody gets ready different. But
sure.
we were ready to go. And it didn't. And we kept finishing all the way through the game. And the guys were great on the sideline, fixing things, making things happen, finishing in the pile, really straining to prevent extra yards on their checkdowns and things, which was a big key to the game.
All right, let's talk about Carson. Obviously, I think that he should be the rookie of the year, and people go through, and we got all kinds of fact sheets right here about how great he has been. Leads all rookies in tackles defensively with 146, total 156, which is impressive. He's 50% above anybody else right there. 11 tackles for loss. He's an off-ball linebacker. Now, we had the great JOK who had 20 a couple of years ago, but as an off-ball linebacker, and as a Mike in particular, that's very impressive, and he leads all the defensive linemen. He leads all those guys in tackles for loss. He's got 2 picks. The only people with more are defensive backs. In fact, the only people that have 2 or more, he's like the linebacker who does that. He had at one point 6 straight games with 10 or more defensive tackles, 8 straight games with 10 or more total tackles. He's been unbelievable. I mean, and you add up, he's got 7 games with double-digit tackles. This is just defensive now. 2 and 3 on that list combined to have 7. I mean, he's lapping the field. And then on top of that, you see a guy who had a high ankle sprain when he gets a pick in New England, doesn't miss a game. And then I'll be honest with you, at some point in the booth, we're watching this game last week, and we're saying, like, does he need to come out for his own good? He's out there on one leg, doesn't miss a snap, still gets another 9 tackles. They took one away from him. He had 10 at one point, by the way, in that game. They took one away. Ridiculous. But, I mean, I love this kid, and I know you got to love this kid too.
All right, so you said a lot. That's a lot of good comments. But starting with the 11 tackles for loss, some of those are on zone reads. Tackling quarterbacks like we saw, his ability to close and get to the line of scrimmage and track things down is elite. His ability to key the ball is elite. His ability to get people on the ground no matter what. The number one thing that Carson hates is missing a tackle, and he lives it. So very proud of him for that. I think the interception number would even be higher. He's discouraged a lot of throws, even since this first one against our next opponent. There's not a lot of throws that are near him when he's out in zones or man or whatever it is. He had a great example is they tried to pick him with number 14 in the first Pittsburgh game, and there's very few people try to do that since. So his interception number and some of those things and PBU numbers are lower because
they're not thrown at him.
He's made them the first time, right? So when you make them the first time, everybody looks on video and goes, ooh, that was pretty smart. This kid went through a pick and made the play. And so he's not tried as many times, and that's a tribute to him and knowing what's going on and what's around him. And that's elite for a young player to know the situations where he's going to get picked, how to slide through contract, how to be on the second or third level if he needs to. It's really good. And then last point on the stats is even in the game, he made the tackle down in the red zone before – Denzel was great and everybody was great in coverage and won the game. And he had some friendly fire. One of us hit him. And it looked like, to your point of in the box, I was like, uh-oh. I'm telling Jimmy, our equipment guy, like, we might need to get the helmet ready for somebody else to go in.
Yeah.
And he pops right up. And what he said was, if I stay there, we'd have to use a timeout and the clock stops. I didn't want the clock to stop. How about that? That is elite.
Unbelievable.
And, of course, that was a big factor in winning the game.
No doubt about it. Here's another thing. He's got 2.5 sacks. He's had 2, I'm pretty sure, taken away by penalties away from the play. So he could have 4.5 sacks, which would be, again, he's a Mike linebacker.
Well, and you made the 20 tackles for loss for Jeremiah, which is unbelievable for an off-the-ball player. But Jeremiah we used more as an edge rusher or an interior rusher than we use Carson right now. But guess what we get to do in the future?
Yeah, it's coming.
Use him more and more. So, and coach, our scheme is flexible enough to do that. So and he's so good at knowing everybody's job that he'll be interchangeable in the future, being able to go get the quarterback more. A great example is the one getting Buffalo. That stunt was one we had a little later, but his timing and how he wrapped up that really good quarterback is special. He had a play earlier in the season where he kind of jumps when a quarterback pump faked, and he hasn't done. He's like, that's the last one of those, and all he's done is run people down from Green Bay to
Jordan
Buffalo.
Love.
Yeah, that's a great example because. Quarterbacks are twitchy and they pump fake, and that's what we do. And we run around, and I tease Bailey Zapp like, you got to pump fake us, and he's great at practice and we say no jumpies, meaning don't jump in the air.
Yep.
You just got to tackle him like running backs, especially these really good running quarterbacks, right? And anything that happens to Carson, he fixes, and he's been doing that. So the tackle on Josh Allen was a great example of that. And there's a bunch throughout the year.
Yeah, he's got highlight tape on some of the best players in the NFL. I mean, he's the only guy I've ever seen meet Derrick Henry in the hole and just absolutely stone him. And then he had one where Henry had a head of steam and he arm tackled him and got him on the ground, like snatched him. That doesn't happen. This is a guy, and you're grinning ear to ear. But, I mean, really, when you think about what he's accomplished, and you've been around some of the absolute best to ever play the position, especially, think about your time in San Francisco where you've got, Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman. Like, he only was a one-year starter at UCLA. To come into the league and do this is insane to me. And you've been around it. You see how good you know how good he is. You've been around the greats. Like, please put into, if you can, context how difficult what he is doing is given just the lack of snaps that he's played this position at a high level in his life.
Yeah, for the ability to take in information and apply it quickly and keep it simple when everything's moving around fast. And of course, the biggest, strongest humans in the world are on that field. It hasn't happened. It's happened in different ways. Guys come in and they run everybody over, or guys come in and they're just really good. Carson's advantage is in all of those things. He's flexible as heck. But his ability to see and feel things and learn from it before it's even happened to him is what's so unique. He does it at a really advanced level. He can see it, think about it, and apply it with maybe not having that snap. It's really, really special.
One of the things I know the guys in your room love about you is that you give such thorough notes. And when you have a guy who it seems like is a sponge for those notes, and you're mentioning, like, you could write something, he may not have repped it, and then he does it on the field. That's got to be, as a coach, kind of like a dream scenario.
Yeah, and he's always thinking about it. When he sees something, we had a new little pressure last week that we used. And the first one, it's one of the quarterback hits that got taken away. The Steelers got called for OPI on the play. Yep. But it was a new little pattern that him and Mason were running together. So we gave it a name for those two. And just when it came to him, he said, well, if I do it like this will give Mason enough time. And it's like how he thinks about everything is like he's thinking about exactly how to do it based off of what happened in the other game, because we put it in, and the other game we were running him vertical and bringing guys around. This game we ran him vertical and did something else with Mason. And so it was a good change up, and it did pop clean. And then he got all the way to the quarterback quickly.
Yeah.
But just his process of how he thinks about things. If I do this like this, because this happened to me before, that's high level, whether you've played 0 snaps or it doesn't happen when you've played few snaps. It doesn't, but it is with Carson. He thinks like that.
That's awesome. It's like having another coach on the field, and usually those guys are like the Roquan Smiths or guys who've been in the league for 7-8 years and have seen it all, and he's doing this right now. I think he should be the defensive rookie of the year. I think he should be a Pro Bowler, and I think big snub there, and I think he should be an All-Pro. I mean, I don't think there are multiple linebackers playing better than him in this league.
I think he just keeps getting better. So like you said, you read all the numbers on the stats, and all him and I think about is the next play and what's going on and how to get a victory and how to help our teammates make plays. And I think as he goes, he's gotten better as the season's gone on. So sometimes with those votes, it's the names come in and everybody knows them.
Yep.
Well, everybody's going to know him now.
There's no doubt. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me ask you this. When you hear in the locker room after a win, And, coach gives out one game ball and he gives it to Carson. And he says, and I'm paraphrasing, but to the effect of, I don't care that I was on one leg. Like, you're going to have to carry me off this field. If I can stay on this field, I'm going to play. And you're just like, yeah, love this guy, right? I mean, that's the heartbeat of your defense. And you're, again, laughing and grinning ear to ear. But, right, what is that? I mean, that's got to get everybody fired up.
Well, heck yeah. I mean, he was hurting.
He couldn't run. I mean, they got the one big pass to Freiermuth, and I'm watching, and I'm saying the guy, he literally cannot run. And then a couple plays later, he's just kind of hitting his leg, and then he's running again. I'm like, This guy's unreal.
Yeah, he is. The ability, his ability, you're either trained or untrained on how to deal with what's next and pain and all that, and his brain to be able to turn on and off things that are happening to him is that's the definite. I mean, it's not even tough. It's just trained to not care.
Yeah.
And I kept checking on him the whole game. He'll tell you. I kept going, looking at him and going,
Are you sure?
Are you sure? We're good.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at me like, all right, good. Let's go.
It's awesome.
And we let him work through it. There was times like right before halftime it started to tighten, and then we were able to get it looser as he went. And we're working through on the sideline. And when guys have muscle things and things like that, they're out on the bike, and so we'll show our surface, and we do stuff and we make sure he's there. And he had to be up moving, and that's fine. So we work when guys are working through that. We really work with them good, and the training staff did everybody did a great job helping out.
You've been a defensive coordinator in this league. You've been a defensive coordinator, obviously, at Vandy. When you think of, and you've coached, obviously, various positions, both sides of the ball throughout your career in the NFL, is there anything, and I know you're a linebacker coach now, so it's probably recency bias, but is there anything more fun for you than seeing just great linebacker play? Because it really encompasses everything, not only in your scheme and a complete understanding of the offensive scheme. Is that to you kind of the pinnacle?
Well, I think I've been really, like you said, I've been very fortunate. Coached on offense, defense, special teams at every level, and I just love every level. That's just right. Every level.
Yeah, that's from Michael Irvin. I don't know if you ever heard this story. I'll play the tape for you one time. So Michael Irvin,
play it to me.
He tells this story about how he was in the middle of the Dallas Cowboys locker room, and he's got everybody around, and he says to him, basically, he goes, who here won a state championship in high school? People raise their
I remember. Yeah.
Who won a national championship in college? Some people raise.
Yeah, I don't mean it like that.
Who won?
He
said, "I won
unfortunate.
Every level."
Yeah.
Yes. Well, you have, but I'm saying, so is that to you?
Well,
I just think it's almost like the closest to being a quarterback.
Yes. Oh no, exactly. That's where I was going. We know each other pretty well.
Yeah, we do.
It is. You're in the middle of everything. That's what I love about coaching linebackers, and that's what I love about it. There's two things they can do. They can run and they can pass, and an RPOs both, and you got to figure it out. I love coaching and working with linebackers because you're always every player in the middle of everything.
And we've played, and when you think of the gauntlet of coaches and offensive schemes to challenge a Mike linebacker, we've played pretty much the toughest. Like, maybe we didn't get the Rams, obviously, on our schedule, but when you think of, Miami, and you think of O'Connell, and you think of Baltimore with Lamar and what they do, and I'm missing, even Pittsburgh tries to do it, although in this game they were just interested in throwing the ball as quickly as possible. We played a really tough stretch of a lot of eye candy, a lot of pre-snap motion. Ben Johnson with the Bears.
Yeah.
We played as tough a schedule for a young Mike linebacker, I think, as you could play.
Definitely. Every scheme was different. And what's great is that how Carson approached each week, and we start with those things. And we've actually talked about some of the guys you mentioned, like how Stafford can look over here and throw over here and things like that. So we're already prepping when we do get that opportunity to play those humans whenever that happens in our schedule. So it really is each week. It's learning about what happened to you and fixing your mistakes and or just remembering things that happened to you. Yeah. Copycat plays. We'll give you another NFL phrase like,
if they beat you once, they're going to dress
it
up different and
league.
Bring it back.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely.
It's a copycat league because what works on video, that's what they know. So we got to stop it.
On offense, we took that motion the Niners used for Harold's touchdown on the opening drive 2 games ago, where he did kind of the use check motion, that kind of Boeing motion, and came back around. Which I think we call Navy or something.
Yeah, we named it Navy because it's like the Navy backs that come back and then can go either direction. And Kyle does run that really well.
Yeah. So that is, to your point, copycat league. All right. We've talked a lot about Carson, justifiably so, but I think one of the best stories in the league, honestly, this year is happening right next to him in Devin Bush. Career high 2 interceptions. He hadn't had a pick since his rookie season. Has the pick 6, as we well know. 7 passes defense, that's a career high. 2 forced fumbles, that's career high. Pretty sure he has 3 forced fumbles, but we'll argue with the statisticians later. 2 sacks, ties a career high. 111 total tackles, that's a career high. He has had a renaissance, and for a guy that maybe in 2023 goes to Seattle, looks like he might not be a full-time linebacker again, to play the way he's playing. He's a former 10th overall pick in the league. He was 3rd in the Defensive Rookie of the Year voting, but for him to play the way he's been has been phenomenal.
Yeah, very, very, very proud and happy for Devin. This system allows him to get on edges and go and play fast and use all of his ability. What I'm really proud of, and he's just been doing really well, is his low target tackling and his hands. He's getting off of blocks, and he's getting people on the ground.
Yeah.
He's rapping, he's going. He has that great lower body that he can get under things and through things and run his feet, and you're seeing that. And it's just gotten better and better since he's been here. And that's a tribute to him and the process and everybody working together, but especially Devin locking in and saying, the scheme's for me. I know I can make plays. Here we go. And then trust himself in the moment, trusting me with as much as I was on him. Devin, get aligned right, get your eyes right, and your ability will take over because you can see it and you can go.
Yep.
And he did. And I would used to give him,
you're hard on him.
MA is a misalignment.
Yeah.
And sometimes there was some MAs. But the more he got the alignments right, and this is with any player, his eyes were right, and then as explosive as Devin is, he took full advantage of it. And we need him to do it one more time this year, and it's just great. His staying in the process has been wonderful for him.
I felt like that last game, and he's played Pittsburgh obviously before, and he's had a monster game against them with Seattle. But
again, we're probably thinking the same thing because I felt it before and then during. I'm like, Devin is going. This is awesome.
Oh, and then you saw at the end when we won, he had some words for Mr. Rogers there, and
I was kind of looking, like making sure nothing happened.
No flags. I was
like looking, and I'm like, listen, I was seeing how close they got,
but you like that, right? You like that kind of intensity, and listen, that's a team that said we're done with you, right? And they came to our building to try to win the AFC North, and we said, not today. You're only scoring 6 points. You're not even getting in the end zone against us. I thought that was awesome.
Which, the 6 points is really hard to do against that quarterback and that team.
I would venture to say, I haven't verified this. I do like my stats. I would venture to say 3 for 15 on third down is probably the worst of his career.
I don't know, but that is really, really good.
For us, yes, very good by us.
And the fourth down stops.
Yeah.
The fourth down stops play in too, because that's of course was the biggest. The one early in the game on the deep throw, I thought our corners, they were covering. They were covering, and they were helping everybody else go.
Tyson hits too, by the way. I'm sure you like him as a corner.
Everybody's excited about Tyson. Tyson just locks in, and he loves ball. He loves to play, and he practices hard. He plays hard. He locks in. He's really taken to Coach Lynch's techniques and our techniques in the defense. He's locating the ball. He's turning his head around quicker.
He's a stud.
He is fast. He's tough, and he targets well in his tackling.
Yeah.
And he's another, like we talk about Carson being able to see things ahead of time. Tice is able to take things from the drills to the game too.
Yeah.
Like exactly the way that it shows up in practice, he can do it.
All right, Gibbe's trying to stop our joy, which is very sad because
we only talked about 2 players.
We're just getting started right now. So I'm going to get you out of here on this one. Right. I got my first Lego for Christmas. My brother-in-law got me a Fortnite Lego. It's the llama.
All right.
So I'm going to start to work on that. So did Santa bring you any Legos this year?
Yes.
What did we get?
We got the Enterprise. Star Trek, that's a big one, yes. And so we got.
How many pieces are we talking about?
I don't know. That was a big
box. A lot, yeah.
But we got some stuff. We have the whole Lego train around the tree.
Love it.
We have 2 trains now and the whole Christmas village.
I love it.
And turn the train on and the cat chases the train, and it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Coach, always appreciate the time. Congrats on the win. Let's go get one more, wrap this season up on a positive note there against the Bengals, and get your guy the respect and recognition he deserves.
Thanks. You just read all the stats. Let's go.
That's a courtesy of Victoria. Thank you, Victoria, for those great stats.
Love it. Always great to be here.
Likewise.